That's a good ball for Peter Weir. Now Aberdeen with McGee making the break and Hewitt waiting in the middle. Hewitt!
Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental. And also by Craig International, who would like to thank everybody who attended the OGA conference in Kuala Lumpur this past few days, as Craig International looks to expand their international footprint. Thanks for coming along, guys. It's match day tomorrow at Dens Park. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the Scottish Premiership as we go for 12 out of 12. So what does it mean at the top of the table? So level pegging with Celtic. They're only above us by goal difference, looking for 6 wins out of 6 at the beginning of the season. And can Aberdeen break a new record coming up, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. Can't wait. Hi everybody, how are you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV this Friday night. This is the preview show, countdown to kickoff ahead of what I think will be our first real test against Dundee at Dens Park tomorrow. Tony Docherty doing a fantastic job there, who of course was at Aberdeen under Derek McInnes. So, what's this show all about? If you're watching for the very first time, how are you doing? A very warm welcome. If you would like to get involved, it's very simple. You can. All you have to do is underneath the main video box, you will see a number of people who come online and leave their own comments, which I read out throughout the show. If you want to participate, please feel free. But we do have some rules here. First and foremost, you must be very respectful to your fellow fans. We have made this a very safe haven, and we do not accept any sort of bullying or having a go at people or anything like that. If you do, you'll just be got rid of. It's as simple as that. So please stay very respectful. And if you can, try not to use bad language as well. It just helps me with YouTube overall. So, preview show. We'll get through the normal bits and pieces as we look ahead to the Dundee game. Got a couple of more bits to get through a little bit later as well. Can I just thank you for the amount of people that have watched the Bobby Clark question and answer feature. That's up on the channel at the moment. It's gathering towards 1,000 views. It's doing really, really well, and the feedback has been absolutely fantastic on it. So I'm really, really pleased that you enjoyed it. A couple of things to come out of the football club before we get into the sort of the nitty-gritty of the show. So I don't know if you saw Jimmy Tillene's press conference today, but he said that Peter Leven, first team coach, has been given permission to speak to St Johnstone about their vacant manager's position. Peter, who actually celebrates his 41st birthday today. So many happy returns to him. Jimmy was I thought it was quite interesting what he said, that he's given him the permission, that he doesn't want to stop people progressing their career. But I still think he very much wants him to stay here. There was a fantastic photograph posted on the club media today of the two of them having a laugh at training this morning. It was a really great photograph. It was brilliantly captured. So, look, nobody wants to stand in anybody's way when it comes to progressing their own career. And it would be a fantastic opportunity for him, obviously. But I really hope he stays, because he is part of our DNA. He helped us massively last year, and I think he's a huge ally to Jimmy and his backroom staff as well. And I think we are bearing fruit from having him as part of the coaching setup. So as much as I, want to see him do unbelievably well, I'm going to be a wee bit selfish, and I just hope that he stays on for a little bit longer. Talking about birthdays, it's Stevie Archibald's birthday today. Stevie is 68 years old. In a 3-year spell with us, he played 110 games, scoring 47 goals. So many happy returns to Steve Archibald. What a player he was, by the way. A little bit before my time. But from, when I used to watch him when he was playing for Tottenham in Scotland. And Barcelona, of course. What a player. Right, shall we get This has been a rather difficult task today, I have to be honest. And I must have done this at least half a dozen times today. I've tried to predict the team news. I'm not sure you're going to like this. Okay. First big call is I'm going to put Pape on the bench. Right, bear with me. Don't start shouting at me. The reason that I've done that is because I think this type of game will be better suited for someone like Leighton to sit in the middle and Toppy to be out on the right and Jamie out on the left. Because I think, not that Pape doesn't do it, but I think we're going to need some real creativity in that final third. Because Dundee are going to be very dogged. And I think the skipper will not get back in as well. So I'm going to stick with Ante and Nielsen to play as the two in midfield with Palaversa to get forward. And Nielsen obviously to do his more defensive duties. The back four stays the same as it is. So that's, honestly, I toyed with it today. I had Pape in, I had Keskinen out. But what I think is fantastic at this moment in time is that this is probably the first time in a number of weeks that I've really had to scratch my head to what the team could possibly be tomorrow. Because I was thinking to myself, how could I leave Pape out? Well, I can only leave him out for tactical reasons. Do I need to bring Toppy back in because we need to be creative alongside Leighton? Do we need to bring the skipper back in for that drive and his influence on the game and all that kind of stuff? But how could you drop Nielsen or Ante, who are both playing superbly well at the moment? So it's a real selection headache for the manager. So I'm absolutely intrigued to see the team that he selects tomorrow at roughly about 10 to 5 to 2 in the afternoon. So what did Jimmy say in his press conference today? He spoke highly of Dundee. They have qualities and they have a clear identity. You can see when they play that they really believe in what they're doing. They have a lot of energy when they play. We have to stay really consistent in the game and use this energy that we create with our supporters and try to bring everything together tomorrow and try to take the points. He goes on to talk about the fan base. He says, we need to stay with them and use our supporters. There's a lot of supporters travelling down and try to create this energy with them tomorrow and take the challenge from there. 4,000 Aberdeen fans travelling to Dens Park tomorrow. A sellout as it normally is. And I tip my hat to each and every single one of you. Okay, let me just grab all the other bits and pieces that I wanted to chuck in there for you. So I've got the match stats, which I'll get to in just a moment. There's the match stats. Yes. I want to throw that in as well. Where did I put it? Hang on a second. I need to have a double check and see where I put that. There it is. Okay, so let me scroll down there. There it is. Lovely. And we'll also chuck in that as a gentle reminder. Ta-da! And one more item to go into the show, and then we are done. Okay, match stats. Let's get to that first of all. So, Aberdeen have lost 2 of their last 3 league visits to Dens Park, drawing the other. The Dons have won all 5 of their league games this season and could become the first non-Old Firm club to win their opening 6 matches of a Scottish Premiership campaign since we won 8 in a row back in 2015-16. Dundee have not kept a clean sheet in any of their last 10 Scottish Premiership matches, conceding 23 goals along the way. Callum Scott is the man in the middle. On VAR is Steve McLean. There we are. Right, I think it's about time we got you guys on and see how we are. So Graham Barron is on first. How are we doing, Graham? He says, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. I would like to go with the same team as last week. This is the first game of our tough run coming up. Fear no one. It's my birthday tomorrow, so 3-0 the Dons will do for me. So Graham, many happy returns for tomorrow, fella. I hope you have a great day. Johnny Wilson says, evening Ali, no changes tomorrow, but wonder if Duke will make the bench. So Jimmy said he's taking a squad of 21 players tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. Graham Barron says, also Levy must stay. He will be a brilliant manager one day. We shouldn't be shaking things up at this point, but we owe him everything if he goes. He can do better than St Johnstone, though. That's actually quite a good shout that we don't shake things up at this stage in the season. The Music Cat says, our support will be important at Dens tomorrow. We need to out-noise the home crowd. Keith Shepherd says, hello Dandies, I hope that everyone has had a good week. This should be a really good test tomorrow. If Morris starts, I predict he will be the difference maker. Just a hunch, he says. Scott W says, I fancy us to come away with a 2-1 or a 3-1 win. Keith Shepherd came back to say, do we really think that the draw was fixed so that Rangers would get Motherwell in the semi-final? Aberdeen against Motherwell would be a great final. No draws are fixed. They're annoying, but they're not fixed. Okay. Graham Barron says, I've got a feeling that Big Ruby is going to score tomorrow. Oh, Graham, your jokes don't get any better, fella. Okay, let's have a quick chat about this because Keith Shepherd says, just wondering what folks feel about the third Granite City strip. So what did you think of it? Did you like it? I think it's all right. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a bit pricey. But overall, yeah, I like it. Like the concept behind it as well. Grey Pilgrim says, Dundee will be a big test. Our run won't last forever, but we should still be good enough with the 3 points at Dens. Lots of options on the bench if things get tricky. Scott W likes the third kit. Some of you suggesting they might actually wear it tomorrow. John Bleasdale's on. Hi John, how are you? Looking forward to the game. First time at Dens Park since November 93, and that was for Dundee against St Johnstone because Wraith v Aberdeen was postponed. Also, well done on your award nomination, Ali. John, thank you so much. I'll come to that in just a moment if you missed this week's unbelievable news. Nepeed is on saying, aye Dandies, fit like he's asking. Fred McKenzie's here saying, hi Ali and Dandies, hope everybody is good. Bob Duff is here saying he was at the AFC Golf Day at St Andrews Duke's course on Tuesday. Great crack with the players. Met Jimmy T in the restaurant later. John Helmsley is on wishing everybody a good evening. Barry Cool is here saying, hello fellow Dandies. Picked up my new granite top today. Nice kit, but missing the 2 stars. Is it? I didn't notice that. Is it really? Grey Pilgrim says, I don't think we need to fear Sevco. The Hoops are the team to beat and Jimmy will figure something out for them. Doug Finney reckons that Duke will be in the squad tomorrow. Johnny Mobb says, Ali, kindly point me in the right direction of the supplier of the very fine retro Willie Miller poster behind you. Okay, so that one over there. So what you need to do is you need to go to Twitter, X, and look up D7 Creative. That's the guy you want to look up. D7, I think it's D7_creative. Have a wee look on his site because he's got some fantastic art pieces. That was my favourite. He's got some other bits and pieces as well. So good luck finding it. Hope you do. Barry Cole says, I hope we keep a hold of Peter Levine. Sorry. Kenneth McPherson says, hello Dandies. Ewan Grant is on wishing everyone a good evening. I have no idea how Jimmy picks the midfield tomorrow. Swamped with quality, but what a magic situation to have. Duncan Shand says, evening Dandies. Got a feeling of a 2-0 win tomorrow. Ruby and Nissi the scorers. Strange positive feeling for tomorrow. AJ Murison says, looking forward to a Palaversa goal. David Horn says, good evening Ali and fellow Dandies. Martin Bihari is on saying, good evening Dandies. I hope you're all well and had a great week. On the Dundee game tomorrow, personally, I think they're missing McCowan badly. And for that reason, the Dandies to win 3-1, stand free. Bob Duff reckons that Peter Leven will go, which will be a large blow, he says. Kirstine is on. Hi, Kirstine. How you doing? Good evening, Dandies. It's good that Peter is being looked at other clubs, but I hope he stays to learn from Jimmy first. Luminous Reality says, good evening, Ali and everyone. Let's go for it and get the win tomorrow. This is the best manager and squad we've had for years. No fear, we should be better than them. Daniel Wilkes says, evening, Dandies. Away from the family as I've just moved to Qatar. Oh, so managing to tune in live for a change, listening from Champions in West Bay. Ah, yes, old Champions. Been there many a time. Actually, the reason that I used to go there all the time was because when I first moved to Qatar, I actually lived in that hotel for the first month before moving out and getting the family settled. So enjoy your time in Qatar, Daniel. Eofan says, "Nay papi, nay party." Good point. Scott W said, it was a shame Stevie Archibald's career went down the pan after he left us. Musical Box says, hey guys. AJ Musa makes a good point. He says, no Scott since Stevie Archibald has been signed by Barcelona. What a player. And he wasn't scared of Fergie either. Great story about was it the match ball? When he scored a hat-trick or something like that. The manager wouldn't give it to him. David Gold Rally Vids is on, wishing everyone a good evening. Graham Gibb says, Ali, that team you predicted is why you're a pundit and not a manager. Have you sent your CV to Tynecastle on that form? The Musical Box says, I knew I'd get it wrong. The Musical Box says, I think Pappy will play rather than Toppy. You see, it's all about opinions. Love it. David Gold Rally Vid says, rotate, keep the squad fresh. Stuart Cleary says, oh, Ali, you bad egg. Controversial team lineup. It's a hard one, though. Gavin Wills says, get Toppy on the pitch. Barry Kohler said, there's so many people on socials looking for tickets at the moment. And the Musical Box is just reminding everybody, if you wouldn't mind hitting the old like button, please, if you're enjoying the show tonight. Greg Kearney says, I feel like a young lad on Christmas Eve tonight. Clock watching, all ready for tomorrow. Cannot wait. It's going to be some day. John Kilo says, Esther works a lot harder than Nisbet, so that might be a thing. Martin Bihari says, oh, Ali, that team is very controversial to say the least, but I understand the headache as well. Have quality in several positions. Stand free. Kirsten came back to say she's also looking forward to going to the game tomorrow. Colin makes an excellent point. He says, the team tomorrow will be decided by the result of the manager and coaching staff's thinking on what players will expose Dundee's weaknesses that they have identified. Roger Smith said, anyone hear the manager last night after the match in Sweden? His use of stay humble, who's in whose head? The Musical Box says, I'm glad I don't have to pick the team really, as there are a couple of tricky decisions to be made. Oh, tell me about it. Lorraine Baxter's here. Hi Lorraine, how you doing? She says, good evening Dandies, looking forward to tomorrow. RJC is here. How are we doing? He says, to think this is just the beginning for Aberdeen. They are building something special under Tulleen. A lot of you are saying, actually, it's quite interesting where so far I would say that most of you like the kit, but there's quite a few of you who are still not convinced by it. And some of you saying you actually prefer the Wasp kit. Rob's here. Rob Clark. How are we doing, Rob? The one major thing I really like about the new third strip is the retro A goal frame badge. Yeah, I love that old badge. John Bleasdale come back to say, hope that Leven stays. He was the reason we stayed up last season and was the first manager in a while to not fear Celtic, where we were slightly unfortunate not to beat them at Pittodrie and Hampden. Paul Donaldson has said, hi Ali, difficult game tomorrow. Dens Park hasn't been the best away ground for us the past few seasons, but hopefully we can keep our recent form and come away with all 3 points. We've not actually won there since 2019, when a certain Sam Cosgrove got on the score sheet. That's right. So Bob came on and just cleared up that story about Stevie Archibald with the ball. So Bob says that Archibald booted the ball into Fergie's office and watched the ball ricochet off the walls. Boy, he's a brave man. In regards to the St Johnstone job, Barry Cole makes a good point. He says it makes you wonder why Scott Brown knocked them back, was rejected. Interesting. Okay. Right, a couple of other things that I'd like to just get through. So, first of all, who's going to the Masters? The Scottish Masters. Well, the Aberdeen lineup has been confirmed. So Big Joe in goal, Kevin McNaughton and Rusty. Johnny Hayes is putting the red strip back on again. Derek Young, Gavin Ray, who's moved back recently from having a spell in Australia. The legend that is Ian Jess. And Lee Miller. That is the Aberdeen team that is going to compete at the Scottish Masters on the 14th of November at the P&J Live. And they're going to be competing against legends from Celtic, Dundee United and Rangers, all going head to head. Tickets are on sale at the moment. I think the tickets are about £32. And it starts at 6 o'clock in the evening. Should be a great event, that. I used to love the old Tenant Sixes and stuff like that. Okay, something else to bring you. If you already know the news, I know most of you have, but if you've missed this, we got some unbelievable news during the week. So the Football Content Awards 2024, I was shortlisted for Best International Podcast. As you can imagine, I was absolutely made up. And I know that many of you have already voted for me. So thank you so much. If you want to vote, you have to go to the Football Content Awards website, scroll down to how to vote, click on select category, then you will see best podcast, click on that, and then you will see another little box that says international. Click on that, and then there's a drop down of a number of names. I come second in the list. Just click on my name, go to the bottom, vote now, and that is it done. I would obviously, to be able to bring this home is, at the moment, it's obviously a dream, but I really hope it becomes a reality. The awards on the 21st of November in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, White Hart Lane. So to all of you who voted for me recently, thank you ever so much. And just a gentle reminder, if you're enjoying the show tonight, could you do a couple of things for me? So give the old like button a push for us. Helps with the old YouTube algorithm. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be brilliant, because we are so close to 3,900 subscribers, which is phenomenal. And then obviously we will kick on big time to get to that 4,000 mark. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd be absolutely over the moon if you would please consider it. It doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is press that button and you get notified of when the shows come live, and all the other bits and pieces are on as well. Thank you. Right, let's get back to your thoughts. All Night Mike says, Ali, do you expect to beat Dundee? I'm a D fan and I fancy our chances of beating you lot. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for leaving your message. Really appreciate it. Good to see you on. I got to be honest. Yes, I think it's going to be extremely tight. I think there'll only be a goal in it. So 1-0, 2-1, something like that. I'm going to predict a 2-1 win for us. I think because of the way that we're playing at the moment and because of the momentum that we have and the belief that we have and where we're now able to keep going for 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95 minutes, working hard all that time, I think will give us the extra edge to push us over the line. So it's going to be very difficult. As I've said at the top of the show, I think it will be our real first big test because we've got some very tricky games coming up after this as well. So I think, obviously, we only take it one game at a time. But if we were to win this game tomorrow, it's going to put us in a really good place to kick on for the next few big games that are coming up. So, yeah, I'm actually very confident that we will come away. But I fully expect you to give us a hell of a game. David Goldralli Vids makes another good point. He says, Jimmy is renowned for picking players based on how they perform in training rather than reputation. Paul Donaldson said, I love Jimmy's reply in his press conference when asked by one of the journalists about the Malmo match against that lot. He said, I didn't watch it. Jack D. Good point, Jack. He says, hoping to see more of Fletcher Boyd, who obviously had a phenomenal week playing for Scotland this week. Isn't he doing well? All night, Mike. Right back at you, fella. Duncan Shan said, voted for you, Ali, and had almost no idea of the other categories, so randomly voted left, right, and centre the rest. Brilliant. Right, there we go. Oh. Musical Box says, I thought it was pretty disrespectful asking about a Rangers game at an Aberdeen press conference. Yeah, it was a bit of a bizarre question. Who cares? Seriously. Gavin Wilson says, great to see supporters come on here and feel that they can take part, just like the Hearts fan did last season. Absolutely. I think it's great. And I think it's brilliant that we can all interact with each other. It's what we like. It's what it's all about. Right, guys, so we're coming up to nearly half an hour, so we'll call it a night. So thank you so much for coming on as always. Just very quickly, Colin Gale says, I think Peter Leavin will stay. I get the impression Jimmy is giving him a lot of responsibility and is an important part of the coaching staff. Neat Pete says, you've got my vote. Best of luck. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Right, guys. So all that's left to say, as always on a Friday night, is the very best of luck to the lads tomorrow. Just keep it going. That's all that needs to be said. It's just keep it going. Just continue to have that belief. Continue to keep fighting for each other as you have been from day one. It's great to watch. You're going to be tested for the first time, I think, really, in my opinion. And let's see what you like up against this test. I personally can't wait. So, yeah, very best of luck, lads. And a very safe travels to all of you who are going to Dens Park tomorrow. And I will see you Sunday or Monday. I think I'll see you on Sunday this week, yeah. I'm going to actually put a little poll out, I think, to see what night you would prefer to do a review show. Whether you'd prefer to do it on a Sunday or a Monday night. So I'll put a little poll out and then we can decide amongst ourselves what night we do it. All right, guys. Take care. Stand free. I'll see you all Sunday or Monday. Bye for now.